Last week, we presented some points that Pope Francis raised in the first two chapters of his encyclical letter, Laudato Si, on caring for the earth, our common home. Today, let us treat chapters 3 and 4. First, a brief review. In Chapter 1, Pope Francis presents the pressing concerns on global degradation, global warming, and the throwaway culture, inviting us to evaluate our lifestyles and attitudes on producing and consuming goods. In Chapter 2, he advises us to put on the gaze of Jesus, who recognizes the paternal relationship God has with all creatures, reminding us to see each other as important in God's eyes. Now in Chapter 3, the Pope dwells on the human roots of the ecological crisis. Pope Francis admits that science and technology can produce important means of improving the quality of human life. But he cautions us about the abuse of technological power so dominant that in history it has already killed millions of people. He laments the seemingly technocratic paradigm, which is based on the lie that there is an infinite supply of the earth's goods, leading our planet, our common home, to being squeezed dry of its natural resources beyond every limit. Thus, he advises for the need to slow down, to appropriate the positive and sustainable progress which has been made and recover our values. Likewise, the Holy Father critiques the modern anthropocentrism, which compromises the intrinsic dignity of the world. He posits that our dominion over the universe should be understood more properly in the sense of responsible stewardship. It includes our care for each other. Thus, he tells us, we cannot presume to heal our relationship with nature and the environment without healing all fundamental human relationships. For we are brothers and sisters, each a keeper of one another. So he calls on us to denounce the culture of relativism and exclusion, to protect the dignity of work and employment, and to seek ethical grounding for our utilization of biological technologies. In Chapter 4, Pope Francis stresses that we are not facing two separate crises, but rather one complex crisis that is both environmental and social. And so we need an integrated approach in combating poverty, restoring the dignity of the poor, and protecting nature at the same time. This integral ecology, as the Pope envisions it, should include environmental, economic, social, and cultural ecologies. He also underlines the ecology of daily life, calling for the improvement of the quality of human life in the city and in the rural areas. How are we relating with our environment, with other people, with the natural resources and technology available for us? Let us examine the attitudes and habits that we bring to daily living. This chapter boils down to the principle of the common good. The common good, according to the Pope, includes respect for every human person who has basic and inalienable rights aimed at his or her integral development. The common good calls for social peace, stability, security, and distributive justice. we as a society and the state in particular are obliged to defend and promote the common good. So there you go, brothers and sisters. Let us reflect on the points that Pope Francis raised. We will turn to the final chapters of Laudato Si next week.